So, a couple of you guys wanted me to join in on the discussion that's been happening on YouTube about whether or not a black woman can level up to men of means with natural hair. And we talked about it a little bit in the group last week, in the DDS woman group. So, some of you kind of already know what I'm about to say here, okay? And just a quick disclaimer for those of you who say, forget what men want. Why should it matter what they want? Ladies, I'm not going to play this game with you, okay? Women care what men want. Men care what women want. And obviously what you do with your hair shouldn't just be to appease men. It should be first and foremost to make yourself feel good. But just like men flaunt what they have to get female attention, you can do the same. You can flaunt what you have and get male attention and benefit from what you're flaunting and attract a successful man. Ultimately, changing your appearance, whatever it is that you do to look pretty, to attract men, ultimately that benefits you if you take advantage of it. But if you're comfortable where you're at and you don't want or need a successful man, or you don't want to change anything about yourself to get one, obviously this video isn't for you. Like I said, throughout my whole femininity series, if that's not something you want to do or something you feel you should have to do, don't listen to this video. Wait to the next one, okay? And honestly, the information I'm about to give here, it will work in other areas of life, like getting a job, because a lot of black women, they think we can't get a job or, go to nice functions or, live an upscale, a quote unquote upscale life, or, go to elegant functions wearing our natural hair. And a lot of it is because our hair is not associated with money and high class, or elegance. But you actually can look very high class. You actually can look very elegant and very expensive and classy with natural hair, as long as you do it in a certain way and present a good total package, okay? Just like you can look raggedy with straight hair, you can look very well put together and expensive with natural hair. It's all about accessorizing, right? And since natural hair is considered to be eccentric and rebellious and defiant looking, the key to create balance with this is be not so eccentric with the rest of your appearance, okay? And I know this may sound a lot like conforming, and black women hate that. We hate that. But we all have to conform to a certain extent. Y'all conform every day when you go to work. You code switch. Okay, you code switch to get your check. You code switch to keep your job, okay? So you can do so in the dating market, and you can still have natural hair or natural looking hair, even if it's fake, okay? And you can still get the things that you want. Now, I'm not going to say any YouTuber names because I don't want a lot of drama and attacking the people in my comment section, because the YouTubers I'm talking about, I respect them. I like their information. I like the content that they give for women. And I think it's very helpful for women. So I don't want anybody to attack them in my comment section, even if you know who I'm talking about. But what I will say is that the two women giving out this information, to black women about having to wear straight hair to attract men of means, they're lighter skinned women and they're mixed women. And both of them can get away with wearing certain hairstyles and it look more natural and it be more convincing, okay? And I'm just here to explain to you guys why the messenger matters on this topic, and also give you my take on this as a black woman, a dark-skinned black woman with type 4 natural hair. Long hair, I will throw that in there because that matters too, which I'll get into in a second. But I have a successful man. I've always attracted successful men, always been hypergamous, even before I knew the word, even before I understood the term. But first, let me answer the question. Are men of means more attracted to straight hair? Let's be real. I'm not going to sell you any dreams. I'm not going to tell you any lies, okay? Men in general, of all races, are more attracted to either straight hair or type 3 hair, just like most of them are colorist, right? And they like white and light skin on women, okay? But men of means also like what society considers to be a polished looking hairstyle. And also beauty that is not forced or looks too unnatural or not convincing, okay? That's why you have to be careful about who you listen to on this topic, because certain women can't really speak on what men will find attractive in a black woman, especially a dark-skinned black woman, okay? And one reason men of means may not be choosing you as a black woman, honestly, it may be because you do not wear your natural hair, or it may be because you do not wear weave that looks believable, okay? I've said this before in my femininity series. Since I've started these videos, been trying to convince black women to go natural. Our hair is our crown, and it can make or break our appearance, okay? And you can be wearing a straight 16-inch wig and go out with your friend who is equally as attractive as you, but she's natural with type 3 hair, and she'll get more attention than you. Not because, the man doesn't like straight hair, but because she has a texture that he likes, or because her beauty doesn't look as forced as yours does. Even though you have straight hair, even though somebody told you that straight hair was going to attract the most successful men, they're choosing your friend who has natural hair because her hair looks believable and yours doesn't. Okay? Most men like a polished look with believable looking hair. It's a package deal, okay? And I have to keep it all the way real right now, ladies. But one reason men choose mixed women and non-black women is because they wear their own hair, okay? Or they wear weave that looks believable. That's the same reason you have some men who choose black women that are natural, because it looks believable. Think about it. If straight wigs and straight hair were working so well for black women, we'd be attracting higher caliber men left and right. Well, I mean, we really would. How many black women do you know? I mean, now we have the whole, natural hair movement thing going on, but still, literally see, for the most part, we see more black women with straight hair and weave. So, if they are a man of means and they're into straight hair, they are less likely to choose an imitation white woman or imitation mixed woman, with the Brazilian wavy with the baby hairs. They're gonna most likely choose the real thing, not an imitation of the real thing. Do you get what I'm saying? And yes, you do have men of means who choose imitation women or imitation black women who get, fake butts and fake lips, but they're usually, ain't shit rappers and dudes that cheat and got a bunch of baby mamas, okay? And furthermore, I just want to make this clear. We're not just talking about attracting black men of means. We're talking about attracting all men of means, okay? And if you look at wealthy men who are actually married to black women, not just screwing them and making baby mamas out of them, but if you look at men who are actually married to black women, men of means, a lot of these women don't wear a lot of unrealistic looking weave. Even if they do wear straight hair, even if they do wear weave, it's not really unrealistic. It blends well. It looks more on the natural side. And I will say, that rich men with wives who have kinky natural hair are the exception, like another YouTuber said. But that doesn't mean that you as a black woman, natural and polished and at your best, body looking good, makeup looking good, that doesn't mean you can't attract a man of means, okay? Rich men with dark-skinned black women are the exception too. So does that mean you should just go bleach your skin and, to try to become an imitation light-skinned woman? Because that's kind of what this message runs dangerously close to. Okay, so no, you shouldn't be trying to be an imitation anybody. You just be the most best looking dark skinned woman, black woman that you can be. Okay, and the same applies to natural hair. Make it look at its very best. And if you don't know how to do your hair and make it look its very best, then get it done professionally. Okay, and if you can't do that, then opt for the wigs. Okay, but I'm telling you that imitation white woman hair, as a dark-skinned black woman, especially, that looks like a black woman, phenotypical black woman, it won't necessarily bring better results like it might for a mixed woman or a light-skinned woman, because, there comes a point to where on you, specifically as a black woman, it's going to look too forced. It's going to look too out of place. Whereas on her, it looks a little bit more natural. It looks more believable. It looks more convincing. In other words, if men have the money to pretty much get any woman that they want, and they prefer a woman with straight hair or a certain texture of hair, why would they choose a black woman with a weave over a woman who has that natural hair texture already? Okay, if they are going to choose a black woman, a dark-skinned black woman especially, they're going to choose the one whose beauty looks less forced. Okay, and only, seriously speaking, only a dark-skinned black woman who has attracted men of means is going to be able to tell you that. They're the only ones that's going to really be able to tell you what's going to work for a dark-skinned woman, for a black woman when it comes to attracting a man of means. Yeah, if you're a mixed woman and you're a light-skinned woman and you're talking about attracting colorist men or men who prefer that type, you can speak on that. Just like I can't speak for them, they can't really speak for you as a black woman. No shade, but they can't. At least on this topic. Maybe not on everything, but at least on this topic, okay? And like I told you guys in past videos, natural hair usually weeds out colorist men. Okay, they avoid dark-skinned women with natural hair like the plague. They do. And we don't want those men anyway. Okay, let them choose women who have that kind of hair naturally. We'll get the ones of men of means who like well put together natural black women, authentic looking black women that are on top of their game. And it may be a smaller pool of men, but we'll have first dibs because our beauty looks less forced. And honestly, guys, you don't really know what they're looking for at this point because you can't speak on something you haven't tried. You can't speak on something we haven't done as a collective of black women. We haven't been natural and at our best, from head to toe when it comes to our hair, our body, just being completely a total complete package. We haven't been at our best yet to even test the results. So we don't even know what the results would be because we haven't tried it. So, I'm just saying, like, don't be afraid to try it. Don't be afraid to stand out in your lane. Stay in your lane and stand out in your lane. And the men who like what you're giving, the men who want to travel down that lane, who want a black woman, they're going to want the authentic ones who are on top of their game. You want to attract the men that like what you have to offer. And that's the whole idea here, okay? And listen, it is better to attract men who see and who are attracted enough to approach the real you, not the imitation mixed woman. And in my experience, natural hair brings better results, which are non-colorist, non-texturist, non-featurist men, okay? There are other things, obviously, that will attract colorist or featurist men. Like if you have a big butt, you're going to attract men whether they're colorist or not, okay? But it's usually known almost immediately that they only want sex. So those men are easy to kind of read and then dismiss, right? Oh, he just wants me because my booty. He don't necessarily want me because my natural hair or my dark skin. He wants me because I got a fat ass and he want to fuck. Then you just dismiss those guys, right? And you start attracting the men who literally will approach you and say, wow, I love your hair. Your hair is beautiful. I love, your look, or, your skin complexion is beautiful. Once you exude that confidence in your natural beauty, you will attract men and men of means who like that, who are looking for that, looking for exactly what you have to offer, the package that you have to offer. They're traveling down your lane. So the answer to this question is a lot more nuanced than, do men of means like straight hair versus natural hair. The true key to attracting high caliber men is having a well put together, complete package and a look that looks convincing, that is believable, okay? Men like long hair on women, right? That's just across the board. They also like natural hair paired with good makeup and nice bodies. They like straight hair paired with good makeup too. So that's just across the board too. But it's more of a total package that wins them over, just like it does with straight hair. And let's just be real. Men of means aren't going to look twice at an overweight woman with straight hair, a straight bad looking wig. They're not, you know what I'm saying? I can't stress enough that it is all about presenting a total package and really playing up and enhancing what you have to offer. And the men who are specifically looking what you have to offer, they'll come sniffing around before you know it, okay? So next, I'm going to give you just some quick tips on attracting successful men while rocking natural hair. And I've given some of these tips already in my femininity series, but I'll repeat them here and I'll show you pics like I normally do as examples. And obviously you don't have to do all of these things to get a man with money, but I am just telling you what will yield the best results, okay? Tip number 1, grow your hair long. I've said this before. Men generally like long hair or hair that frames the face. Obviously this has its exceptions. I'll just keep it real right now. If you look really good with short hair, or you are one of those very exceptionally attractive model-looking chicks, you can get away with short hair and still get the same amount of attention as you would with long hair. But average-looking women, which is most of us, okay, we generally look better with long hair or hair that frames our face. So I would say grow your hair long, or if you can't grow it long for whatever reason, or you don't have long hair yet and you're still growing it out, if you want to get the most attention when going out, you can put in a weave. But in my experience, kinky weave, I've said this so many times, I don't know how many times I'm going to have to say this, but kinky weave and straight weave gets good results as long as it's not, unkempt looking, as long as it's not extremely big or overpowering, or what I like to call hair show hair. The simpler the better in my experience. This is not me saying you should, tame it, in certain atmospheres or certain environments, big hair, attracts the right attention, but it just depends on where you go. Anything down or out and hair that doesn't overpower your appearance, like, one thing I did agree with one YouTuber, what she said, it's like, you don't want to have the kind of hairstyle where the only thing people see is your hair. That's when it's too much. If that's the only thing people see, if your hair walks in the room before you do, that's like, it's not going to work, So hair that doesn't overpower your appearance, I think, is best. Tip number 2, wear hair that is shiny, polished, and smells good, okay? And again, not considered unkempt. And this goes for natural and straight. You can have unkempt looking straight hair just like you can have unkempt looking natural hair. It's really the same across the board. And I didn't make the rules, ladies, but certain hairstyles are considered messy and some hairstyles aren't. And this goes, again, for natural and straight hair. You can have really neat looking professional natural hair. Okay. And both can look messy, both straight and natural. I don't always lay my edges down. I told y'all that before. Nor does my hair look super, quote unquote, done 24/7, but it always looks combed, shiny, and polished. It looks even. It looks symmetrical. The ends look good, and coconut oil and castor oil really shines the natural hair. And you can, as far as like smelling good, you can buy what's called flavor. It's basically scent for hair products or body products. You can buy it anywhere online that sells flavor. They have so many different scents, blueberry, vanilla, peach, strawberry, lavender, whatever it is. Or you can, if you want to go like the more natural route, you can get an essential oil, something like lavender or peppermint oil or something like that. As long as you dilute it so it won't burn you, especially peppermint oil, dilute it with water or another oil, and then, you can put that in your hair and it will make it smell good. And again, I'll be showing examples of polished hair, but you can do this with a twist out. You can do it with natural hair that is down and out. As long as it looks neat and clean, you're good to go, and men will come to you. Trust me. Tip number 3, wear hair that matches the occasion. And this tip will not only work for getting a man of means, but it will also work for getting a job. Men of means do important things, and they want to know that they do important things and they go important places, okay? They want to know that when they take you to certain places, you'll know how to fit in and look, not necessarily fit in, but look appropriate. Look appropriate. You can look like yourself. You can look like a black woman, but look appropriate, okay? And you can do this with natural hair. And again, I didn't make the rules, ladies, but like it or not, there are certain hairstyles for certain occasions. Sleek, defined curls, twist outs, pompadours styles are good for cocktail parties and upscale events. Or you can straighten your natural hair or wear a straight weave, just as long as it looks on the natural side, just as long as it's not down to your butt, and it just doesn't look believable. Now they have, and I know a lot of you guys know about this, now they have a textured straight weave that works good too. And it's just, it's straight weave, it's hair that's down, but it's coarse, and that can look really neat and natural. Again, it looks like it grows out of your head. No hair dye, ladies, unless it looks more on the natural side. Definitely no purple or pink hair, nothing like that. And I know this is a popular style for naturals, okay? But I recommend wearing your high puffs. I like to call them power puffs. I recommend wearing those only to places like the gym or when you're not really doing much, or, when you go work out or whatever. In my experience, I find that when you do wear puffs, it's like the most professional looking puff is like when it's pushed further to the back of your head. The higher the puff, the more casual it looks. And the further back it is, the more elegant or professional it looks. That's just my tip for the high puffs, okay? Tip number 4, wear good makeup. Now, I just want to caution you guys on this because I have seen natural women go a little bit overboard with the makeup, like they're trying to overcompensate for having natural hair. So you don't want to do that. You don't want to have like a cake face, but the right amount of makeup with any hairstyle is going to make you look more polished, expensive, and put together, okay? So my tips are, don't go overboard with the eyebrows, their eyelashes. Again, make them look believable. A cake face is unnecessary. Overdone stage makeup is unnecessary, right? You don't want to look like, you're like a dead person with makeup on. That's the best way I can describe it, where you look just chalky and powdery. It's a cake face. That's what it's called. You don't want that kind of makeup. Matte makeup, it always looks classier in my opinion. Matte lipstick, matte eyeshadow, no glitter, no a bunch of shiny, glossy stuff, greasy looking makeup that looks kind of tacky. I would say gloss looks are best in nude colors. That's what I've observed. Like, if you have a glossy nude lip. Especially if you're like me and you have full lips, like minimize the gloss a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You don't need all of that. Ditch the blue and green lipstick. Upper class men don't generally go for that. I'm not saying it doesn't look cool sometimes, Sometimes I look at a woman and she's rocking the blue and green lipstick, but for the most part, I don't think men of means really go for that. Tip number 5, wear modest clothing. Like I said earlier, since natural hair is already considered to be eccentric and rebellious and defiant, the key is to not be so eccentric with the rest of your appearance, okay? So that means no busy clothes, no really busy clothes, a lot of patterns and, polka dot stripes and snake skins and cheetah print. None of that unless it's a small accent item like a thin belt or a small clutch. Or shoes even, as long as it matches the occasion. Remember, ladies, like I always say in my femininity series, less is more. And plain clothing is best. Not a lot of gaudy bling bling. And I see women with natural hair who feel like because they're natural, they have to make a statement from head to toe. They have this big hair and everything else got to be big and bold and eye-catching. And, it's like they want to attract the most attention as possible. And that's not really necessary. Your hair is enough. It really is. Your hair says enough. Trust me. Tip number 6, lose weight. This is honestly probably the most important tip because most men of means, natural or not, don't like overweight and obese women. That's just what it is. Most men with money, you don't see a lot of them with overweight or obese women unless they are overweight or obese themselves. But there's really nothing like a well put together, fit black woman with natural hair. And me personally, I think that's the reason most of us aren't attracting high caliber men. Not the way we wear our hair. I think that has very little to do with it. I think it's our weight, to be honest. And you can wear straight hair all day, but if you don't take care of your body, most men with money are going to look right past you. Like it or not, that's the way it is. They have the money to get the women that they want. And unfortunately, overweight and obese women aren't seen as attractive in our society. So, they're going to get the women that they want, and they're usually going to go for the fit women or the average size women, okay? And ladies, there's a ton of fitness and diet tips on DDSmagazine.com in the fitness and health section. I'll leave that in the description box for those who want to check that out. So yeah, those are my tips. I'm done here. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section, and I'll catch up with you in the next video.